That's my guy! That right there! That's my guy! You can see him in the picture. I met him earlier this summer in Richmond during the Troy Stetcher Foundation practice that was held between a bunch of NHL players. Tanner Pearson, ladies and gentlemen, MVP, going out here for the Montreal Canadiens and sealing the deal with an assist on the game-winning goal and a goal in the final minutes of the third period, bridging the gap between Montreal and a solidified dub. The Habs have defeated the Buffalo Sabres 3-1 in what was a very, I don't want to say slow game, it was definitely slow towards the end there. The Canadiens had the lead. They held on to it. They did such a good job at just kind of clamping down and making it so that the Buffalo Sabres didn't really have too much of a chance to come back. Like, I don't know, this wasn't the type of game where I watch and I say afterwards, oh yeah, that was like a crazy, super exciting, enthusiastic, balls off the wall, banana type of game. Like, it wasn't that bad. It was just a game. You know, they played, they scored a few goals, and they walk away happy. Or maybe not happy, depending on who you ask. To be honest, there were a few guys that you could say played very well and deserved to be happy with how that game went. Jake Allen is one of them. He made some pretty great saves to keep the Canadiens in it, only allowing one very beautiful snipe by Jeff Skinner on the power play. And then you had that third line for the Habs. Let's talk about Tanner Pearson. Let's talk about Brendan Gallagher. Also, you had yourselves, of course, Justin Barron scoring his first on the season too in the opening minutes of the game itself. Very nice for him to get on the board. We always knew that Justin Barron was more of an offensive-leaning defenseman. So him being able to put the puck in the back of the net, that's what he was drafted for. That's what he was traded for. And it's why the Canadiens decided to give him a chance, and he makes do with it in tonight's game. But the biggest part about this game, I feel, is the fact that with a goal and an assist, Tanner Pearson now has the most points on the Montreal Canadiens, tied with Cole Caulfield. He, on the regular season for 23-24, has 5 points in 5 games, putting him at a point-per-game pace. You know what's crazy? Tanner Pearson, last year for the Vancouver Canucks, had 5 points in 14 games. This season, he has matched that in a third of the total amount. And it's not even like he's a top-line player. He is doing this on the second power play unit. He is doing this on the third line. I, of course, am very biased because watching Tanner Pearson be a Vancouver Canuck and struggle the past few seasons wherein he was injured and had a lot of hand stuff that was unaddressed and not really properly assessed afterwards. Like, there was such a terrible way that the Vancouver Canucks treated Tanner Pearson when he was dealing with the injuries he had, that it became easy to root for him once he got traded to a team like Montreal, once that salary cap hit was off the Canucks' books, and once the Canadiens decided to give him a chance. This player has come back with a vengeance, and with a goal and an assist today, he solidifies himself in my heart as one of the biggest comeback stories that I am cheering for. Maybe even my favorite Hab at the moment. Who really knows? Of course, everybody loves Cole Caulfield, everybody loves Suzuki, everybody loves the guys, but for me, maybe because I met him earlier in the offseason. Actually, I met Brendan Gallagher, too, now that I think about it. Yeah, I have a picture with him as well. But, Tanner Pearson is the comeback story, and he ends up getting a very nice projection here in this game. Let's just talk about it a little bit, though, because the Canadiens, as we said, they started out the entire contest with the Jakai long shot. It gets deflected back out, and Justin Barron is there on the rebound to put the puck in the back of the net. 1-0 Montreal about 3 minutes in. You then had yourselves Jeff Skinner with the power play snipe a few minutes after that to bring the game back to tied evens. 1-1 after the first period. Jeff Skinner, by the way, what a beautiful snipe. This guy is like near the goal line. He is on the right side, and he just absolutely locks and loads, no hesitation whatsoever. Who cares if it's going to go wide? He knows it's not going to go wide. Ping off the post and in. 1-1 game after the first, and then the next 2 goals are not scored until the third period. Now, the shots on goal in the second kind of tell the whole story here, as Buffalo had a lead in second period shots 17-9. Montreal was hanging on for a bit, and the Sabres were getting their opportunities. It's just Jake Allen standing tall. He makes a total of 36 saves and 37 shots against, so a .973 save percentage. And in the third period, everybody hung on. You had yourselves the beautiful goal scored by Brendan Gallagher, where Pearson gets it up to Savard. Savard takes the shot. The rebound is right there. And Gallagher, guess what? He's going out there scoring dirty rebound goals. That is what Gallagher is known for. That is what he made his career doing. And he ends up giving the Canadiens the go-ahead goal just a few minutes into this third period. Give it a little bit more, and the Canadiens eventually get the power play with 4 minutes to go in the third. And this is where the first unit isn't able to convert. I mean, I liked the puck movement shared between guys like Matheson, Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, of course. I feel like some of the shots were a little bit inaccurate. You want to see Caulfield hitting the net when he's got a wide-open one-timer like that, not shooting it right into the slot and having it bounce off of a few Sabres players and into the corner. But the second unit comes back out, and this is where they go to town. Jakai sends it over to the side. It's Newhook on the boards. Puck gets thrown over to Gallagher, who's at the goal line, back out in front to Tanner Pearson, who shoots, and he ends up scoring. It's the old Bo Horvat play in Vancouver, except this time Tanner Pearson is the triggerman. And I know it's not really the Bo Horvat play, it's just a play that the Canucks very much utilized to perfection last year, with Bo Horvat being that guy. But Tanner Pearson finally getting his time to shine with a goal and an assist here. Gallagher also with a goal and an assist. And after this, I mean, the Canadiens pretty much just locked it down. Like, the Sabres had a really tough time breaking into the Canadian zone in the final few minutes of that third period. They refused to pull the goalie. They weren't able to do it properly up until it was pretty much too late. The Habs kept trying to go for the empty net, which resulted in icings, and they just tried repeating that over and over again. It wasn't really that great of a strategy. But at the end of the day, the Montreal Canadiens survive. They hold on to this 2-goal lead, and they walk out of the game with 2 points. Take a look at the Montreal Canadiens in the standings right now. They have themselves 7 points in 5 games. They push out the Maple Leafs and the Senators in that third place spot in the Atlantic, and sure, you know, it's a very early season, things can change, but for now, everything's looking pretty good in Montreal. They would be first in the Metro right now. If they were in that division, they'd be tied for first. So the Canadiens are literally one of the best teams in the East right now, and a win like this against a Buffalo Sabres team that has been clawing, chomping, trying to get out of this small slump they've been in, it definitely feels good. Especially for y'all who are Canucks fans and want to see Tanner Pearson succeed. So, of course, big shout out to him, big shout out to Brendan Gallagher, big shout out to Jake Allen, and then I wanted to give some other props to, of course, Jeff Skinner for doing what it is that he was able to do. Darlene, I thought, looked effective as always. The guy was getting shots, the guy was chucking the puck over to dangerous areas. Big shout out to David Savard, too. The guy ended up leaving the game, but the guy's a great penalty killer. Oh my goodness, what a performance, what a warrior David Savard is. Also, before we go, I wanted to say one more thing about this game. It was interesting watching it from the Buffalo Sabres broadcast POV. I did have the game on with the MSG feed. They were really disappointed in their team when the Sabres were not able to pull the goalie at the end and actually break in and establish pressure on the Habs. Like, the broadcast crew was very audibly disappointed with how their team was not able to do that, which I get it. You know, hometown broadcast, they got to cheer for the team in some respect, right? But also I wanted to talk about the crowd, because there were so many empty seats in this game for Buffalo, and the odd part is the majority of the seats that were filled and shown on TV were Habs fans. They were all wearing red jerseys and red, blue, and white stuff, and I was like, wait a minute, this isn't Buffalo. Why is the game populated mostly by Canadiens guys? Like, surely there are some Buffalo Sabres fans who are probably available on a Monday night to watch a hockey game in their own town, right? Anyways, despite the external stuff that doesn't really impact the game itself, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Montreal Canadiens defeating the Buffalo Sabres 3-1 in regulation. Tidy piece of work here by Tanner Pearson. I'm super happy to see it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.